Battle Beast versus Conquest. Who wins between these two powerful top dog battle crazed lunatics? If they were to face off in a full scale battle, well, that's the battle I got for y'all today. Like, share, and subscribe. As always, comment down below on any thoughts you'll have about this video. Now, before we get right into it, let me just state that I'm going to primarily focus on what we've seen from both these two characters as of Season 3 of the Invincible series, just to avoid any spoilers for those who don't know what's still going to happen or who have never read the comics. So I'm just going to use what we've seen already. Now, first of all, starting with their raw physical strength, I'll be completely honest, the simplest way you could just put it is by saying that they're both stronger than the average Viltrumite. And I think that's quite fair to assume, especially when you consider the fact that Season 2 Invincible, when he stops holding back, could hold his own against Viltrumites. Now he's a lot more powerful, so he should just be kind of relative to other Viltrumites, like some of the Executioners or like Anissa and stuff like that. And then Conquest just toys around with him and just blatantly shows that he could beat him. And obviously Conquest stated himself that he is feared by the other Viltrumites, and they are all afraid of him. He is the most powerful of the different Viltrumites. But on the other hand, Battle Beast fought one of the Executioners that were going to kill Nolan, and he was blatantly more powerful than that Executioner. Yeah, the Executioner could push him back and push him down, but for the most part, Battle Beast had the advantage in that battle, to the point where he was literally begging that Viltrumite for more, begging him to fight harder because of how outmatched he actually was in that battle. So both of them are just simply greater than the Viltrumite levels of physical strength based alone on what we've seen. And then in terms of speed, well, in terms of their combat speed, they're both able to keep up with these Viltrumites. So I'd prefer to say that they're more or less relative in terms of just general combat speed. But obviously in terms of movement speed, Conquest is superior. He can fly. So yeah, he has that advantage. And then in terms of durability, I also think they are somewhat relative based alone on what we've seen already. Now I do want to slightly lean towards Battle Beast being more durable, but I think relativity is fair. Both of them are constantly shown to be able to tank Viltrumite level characters' attacks, like obviously Conquest tanking a variety of different attacks from Invincible, and Battle Beast taking a variety of different attacks from the Viltrumite Executioner. Now the reason why I might want to slightly lean towards Battle Beast is because, first of all, the blood we saw on Battle Beast when facing off against one of the Executioners might not have actually even been his own blood, and was probably the blood of the other beings or creatures or aliens he had killed prior to his fight with the Viltrumite, which means the Viltrumite might not have actually made him bleed, or might not have made him bleed much at least. Whilst we do know that Invincible can actually make Conquest bleed. And on top of that, I mean, we saw Battle Beast in Season 1 of Invincible, and he was able to tank a variety of different attacks, even more or less able to tank like Robot kind of going all out, and it was just like a little bruise on him and didn't really bother him as much as you'd expect it to, given that Robot is one of the guardians of the globe, one of the most powerful heroes on the planet. So I want to slightly lean towards Battle Beast, but obviously both of them are insanely powerful, being capable of tanking attacks from Viltrumite level characters. And then when it comes to their combat skills, well, both of them also highly skilled martial artists, given that they have lived for many years and have both been extensively trained in hand-to-hand combat. Now I will also want to slightly lean to Battle Beast in this aspect, given that I think he focuses more on hand-to-hand combat than Conquest, but nevertheless I think they are more or less relative in terms of their combat skills even there. And then there are actually other abilities, I guess their powers or weapons. And I'll be completely honest, right? Battle Beast has the massive advantage in this aspect. Now, I know that Conquest can fly, which obviously does give him a slight advantage in many battles he's in. But Battle Beast has fought a lot of characters who can fly, and, well, he's almost always beaten them. Oh, no, actually, he's always beaten these characters who can fly. So it's not like Conquest being able to fly with that much of an advantage to him. But Battle Beast, on the other hand, well, first of all, he has his weapons. He almost always has weapons on him, but fine, we'll say he doesn't have those weapons in this specific battle. He still has his claws, which are also capable of piercing through the Viltrumite skin and lethally affecting a Viltrumite. Now, I would actually scale the claws as a higher advantage than Viltrumite's ability to fly or Conquest's ability to fly, given that the claws are a battle determining factor, as they can drastically affect their opponents, whilst flying, though useful, is not a battle determining factor. So I'll scale the claws as more lethal than obviously flying, and thus I believe Battle Beast to have an advantage in even this aspect. So that does ultimately lead me to say that I believe that Battle Beast should win the battle. See, if we were to say that they are relative in terms of strength, speed, and durability, Battle Beast should still be a better martial artist, and he still has the advantage of having his claws. Now, I do personally believe that Battle Beast is stronger and more durable than Conquest, and on top of that, I am using him without his weapons in this battle. So it feels like I've nerfed Battle Beast a bit in this battle, and yet still I would still slightly lean towards him being the victor in this battle. Now, obviously, it's not like an easy fight. It's not an easy win for Battle Beast. Never would it be an easy win. Both of these characters are insanely powerful and above the average Viltrumite's levels of power. So it will be a very hard battle for Battle Beast. And there are chances for Conquest actually winning the battle. But for the most part, I prefer to lean towards Battle Beast winning it majority of the time. Now, I'm sure many people are going to have a lot of comments and thoughts about this. It's completely understandable. If they'll do, please leave them down below. This is MC Info with another MC Clash. I'm out.